If you neglect one small but very important aspect of being a graphic designer, you won't get very far in this industry. This video is going to reveal 2 simple steps you can take to ensure that you master this one aspect, and also show you some easy to apply tips along the way. I applied the very same tips myself, and these days I actually have to turn away emails from clients because I simply am just too busy. But what is the crucially important aspect of being a graphic designer that I'm talking about? It's actually a simple 3-letter word, and that is yes. You need to firstly ensure that a potential client looks at you as a person and as a designer and says, yes, I want to work with you. And then secondly, later down the line says, yes, I will give you my money for that design. Now that probably sounds very simple, but so many designers are going about this in the wrong way. And don't worry, I'm going to make this super simple for you to follow, and if you do apply what I'm about to tell you in today's video, you'll start to notice upticks in DMs and emails from potential clients. Now the first of 2 steps is where I'm going to dish out 5 different tips on something that no graphic designer should ever underestimate, forget, or miss. It's based around portfolios, and it actually ensures that a person will become a client or an employer to you as a graphic designer. And this is because the portfolio is your secret key to someone being interested in you as a person and a designer. These days, including this one thing in your portfolio can not only help potential clients or employers stay on your website longer, but it shows them how you operate as a designer. That thing is a process video and is actually really easy to do. Just make a quick 30 to 60 second video or even just a slideshow of the process you went through on a project. And also add that somewhere in the portfolio post itself. This will work wonders to set you above most other portfolios out there. Now tip number 2 is something that will actually breed a lot of confidence in anybody looking at you as a business, a designer, or even a person. If possible, include post-project results and data that demonstrate the impact of your design on the client's goals and their brand or their business. This in of itself is a superpower move. And if you can do this, you really should do it. Something else that builds confidence is feedback and testimonial sections. This breeds credibility in you as a designer and as a person. But don't worry if you don't have any kind of actual projects under your belt. You can also include feedback from colleagues or professors. All of that matched with good solid work, and also the next tip I'm going to explain will conjure up pure magic. In your project posts within the portfolio, pair the problem you're trying to solve to the client with the final solution. It helps viewers understand the context and impact of your work, and if you do this visually as well as in textual form, side by side maybe, you're off to a winning solution. And the 5th tip in the first of 2 steps in today's video, you have to make sure to optimize your portfolio for search engine results. Use relevant keywords and meta descriptions, and I do suggest creating a weekly or a monthly blog somewhere on your portfolio. This over time will build a solid feedback loop and is great for search engine optimization. But also of course remember that your portfolio should have a consistent style, it should be easy to navigate, and you should only exhibit your very best work in the portfolio. But from here we want to get that second yes from your client or the employer, and that comes from them actually seeing your designs or your concepts and saying yes. When it comes to showing your client or employer designs or concepts, there are 2 things you need to remind them of. And in this part of the video, I'm going to be using logo design projects as examples, but of course it works for any kind of design. Now remind your clients what typically makes a good design. So in this case, the principles of a solid functional logo. A logo is timeless, it's memorable, and so on. By reminding the client or employer of what makes a good technical design, and then demonstrating how your design aligns with that, and also how it plays into the brief, will set up a good basis for the rest of your presentation. But the second reminder is even more crucial, and that is you want to remind the client or the customer what are the goals or what are the problems that the brief illustrated. And also you want to explain how your design and your process is going to approach those problems. This is a good time to bring up the goals of the project and the design. You need to explain how your design achieves all of that. An example is a brand that needs to carve out its own space in a saturated market via a logo design. And as a designer, you should know all of the goals at this point in the project. The next tip really helps a client or employer to come around to the idea of your design actually working. Use mockups to show their design is relatable, relevant, and also in unique situations. It could be a pen, a bag, or anything the client or the business uses. Not only does this help them visualize the real use case of your design, but it does add that extra kind of layer to your presentation. It does come across as more professional. But the next thing is so powerful that clients really just love to see it, and that is how the design or the product interacts with the target audience. For example, if the target audience are young urban individuals for a clothing brand, show them interacting with that brand and the product. But importantly, work into the presentation that your design will appeal to the target audience and also why. Not only does this help the client see how targeted your design is, but it can bring them away from their own bias if they have one. The presentation of your design is an art form in of itself, and often being able to sell your design ideas is more important than the design itself, or at most equally so. But if you follow today's tips, then you will likely, or more than likely, get 2 yeses in every sector that we just spoke about. The design process and the design itself is only half of the game, and yet so many designers do forget this. But yeah, of course, design skills are important as well, and if you want to learn some crucial tips to making superior designs, just click that video on screen. And until next time guys, design your future today. Peace.